Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call the meeting back to order. Okay, in just a few minutes I'm going to open it up to you members with anything that you might want to bring before everybody here in the room. And so you can be thinking about that. In the meantime, I'm going to ask Carol. I know it's on the agenda, but we don't always go by the agenda. I'm going to ask Carol, I want to say a few brief words about the Macomb County Adopt a Highway program.
Okay. Actually, I'm working as a co-chair with Charlie Frakes for Macomb County NORML, and we still have Donna on board and Lou and Charlie and myself, mainly in Macomb County, but we're looking for more members to come in and get online with us and communicate. But we're one of the chapters that does a highway cleanup, and Donna was the one that kind of got this started, I believe, Donna and Charlie. And we go out in April, July, and September, and about the third weekend of each month, we do a highway cleanup of 2 miles. For Adopt a Highway. We go through the Michigan Department of Transportation, and we register with them. We have to sign a little paper that we viewed a little video or got some instruction on what to do. They supply us with the bags and the vest. And we pick a date, which this time it's going to be April 19th, the day before April 20th. And what we do is we get together for breakfast at Travis Restaurant, which is by 12 Mile and Gratiot in East Detroit, East Point now. And we have breakfast about 10 o'clock, and then about 11:30, after we get out of the parking lot, we go start collecting trash. And we pick it up and put it in the bags supplied by the Michigan Department of Transportation. And then we get a sign erected on the highway that this highway is cleaned by Macomb County NORML. So everybody driving in and out of the city sees a sign coming in and going out, and where we pick up the trash, we pick up right in front of the Roseville Police Department. Always wave when we're going by. And we're finding out we have friends along the route. We got Hooters at one end, we ended up at Hooters after one pickup, and O'Hara's Bar after another one, and so we're getting to know all the people, and they know us, and they're finding out they're not afraid of us. Oh, Chris and John are always with us too. So,
And Carol, if people that live close to Macomb County but not in Macomb County want to
yeah,
come and help
anybody
you
that
don't turn
wants
them
to
down, do you?
come for breakfast, just come on in, and you don't even have to really pick up, just come and have fun with us. But we do it 3 times a year. And I found out also that I'm a member of Keep Michigan Beautiful, because I'm on the Beautification Commission in my town. And if we let Keep Michigan Beautiful know that you're a part of NORML, they will put you on their roster too as being a part of Keep Michigan Beautiful. So that's a little more good publicity for our group. So there's no charge to anybody. All you have to do is get out there and do it. And I really love it because sometimes I get a kick out of putting a pair of shorts on and bending over and causing an accident. So I hope you guys have a little fun and pick up trash and have breakfast and keep the city clean. Show them we're not a bunch of, whatever stereotypes they think we are.
I'd like to add that they got a certificate of recognition from Governor Granholm.
We get one every year. And all you chapters can do the same thing in your area.
We have
So if I do the... Right. Thank you.
All right, at this time, I want to open it up to you, the members. Anybody got anything on their mind that they'd like to speak up on? And Donna was the first one, I think, up with her hand.
I just want to say thank you to the board for being such an inspiration and being good workers and being respectful and being together and working together, and proud to be a part of it.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. I always like to point out that Donna's our member number 420.
Yay!
Yeah, come on.
I won't have everybody in the room again probably until the next meeting, so I just want to stand up and thank everybody who's volunteering tomorrow and everybody from Michigan NORML who's helping to make the Monroe Street Fair the best fair it's been in a long time. So again, thank you everybody for volunteering and helping to make tomorrow run as smoothly as possible. So thank you very much, everybody.
And nobody knows what it's like to put on what Charlie puts on until they do it themselves. Trust me, I've been there and done that, and it's a lot of work involved, and many hands make the workload lighter.
I got something that I could fill out there.
George?
I've got an old cassette here of the video Busted. And my house is collecting dust. And if anybody hasn't seen this or has seen it and would like a copy, it's what, just come up and get it, watch it, show your friends, pass it around when you're done with it.
Tell them what it is for the people that don't know.
Yeah, I guess I should tell you what it is. Busted is a citizen's guide to dealing with the police. There's 3 different incidences on here. People pulled over in their car, people meeting police on the street, and the police coming to their door, and how to conduct yourself and give your lawyers a chance to win your case.
Yeah.
So it's an excellent video put out by Flex Your Rights Foundation.
And the ACLU.
And the ACLU?
Yep.
Yes.
It doesn't say that on here, but
The
okay.
ACLU is part of it, yeah.
He's the former director of the city. But everyone should watch it. Everyone should watch it every year.
Yes.
Watch it
Just
every
remind
year,
yourself.
once a year.
Unless the police are kind of
Great. Absolutely. That's fantastic.
All right. Now, who's that? Who had a hand up? Gersh?
Mind if I tell folks about the DVD?
Absolutely.
I got a few copies left of this DVD. It's the Rick Simpson story for people who haven't heard about it. Rick Simpson is from Nova Scotia, Canada. He was arrested and for the distribution of marijuana. And what he was distributing was a kind of a hash oil. And when he went into court, Nova Scotia Supreme Court, he took along with him 10 people who claimed that they had been cured from cancer, 6 doctors to support them, and all the medical evidence to go along with it. The court held that all of that evidence was irrelevant. They convicted him for trafficking marijuana that he had been giving away for free. He had been giving this extract to anyone that needed it, and people who had been declared terminal cancer patients are now cancer-free. Wow. These DVDs are free to copy and give away to anyone you care about. Is there anyone like one?
Yeah, Luke.
If you don't have enough, those to give away, it's on YouTube.
Yes.
Videos on YouTube.
And these folks back here have had some personal experience with using this extract. He shows step by step how to make the extract.
I'll try to get it on the public access channel.
Make copies, give them away.
I'll bring you blanks.
Yeah.
I got tons of blanks.
Last one, eh?
That'll work.
Not a problem.
Can I have a sign-in?
Gersh, would you like to tell general membership about your bumper stickers too?
Who's, clipboard probably forgot. I should have put it up straighter. Carol, you're
Okay, this is a little project I've got going. Can everyone see what that says?
Warning driver required by law to go blind.
Now I can see that.
First 3 things that people see is warning driver blind.
Yep.
Okay? And it attracts people's attention. They look at it and they go, what in the world is that? And it pulls them in closer and they take a closer look. And on closer look it says, warning, this driver is required by law to go blind.
Oh, wow.
Marijuana prevents
That's
blindness.
heavy.
Okay? People love these things. They put them on their cars, and when people see them in traffic, you see all kinds of reactions. I watch my rearview mirror, I see people setting out stop signs, they'll look, and then they'll smile, and they'll look again, and you see people starting to talk back and forth.
Oh.
The nice reaction that I've seen, the best reaction that I've seen, is when I show it to somebody and they say, is that true? yes, it's true. Marijuana can prevent blindness. People who have glaucoma, it'll take down the eye pressure like you won't believe. I've got glaucoma. My eye pressures had been 22, and then for a while, they were magically 16. And then my medicine got taken away, and they're back to 22 again. And that's borderline glaucoma. It's not a serious case yet. But my clock is ticking. So anyways, and you know, I walk into a pizza place and show this to some of the people. There's some pizza places that I've walked into, every single one of the drivers in the places wanted one of these things to put on their cars. Every single one. And I don't give them to somebody unless they promise that they're going to put them on their car. I can't give them away for bookmarks or something like that. They're really, at this point, you know, I'm just experimenting, seeing how things work, who likes them, who doesn't. And you know, they're really expensive for me to print up for giving away. Somebody would like one of these things, you know. Call it $4. They cost me about $3.50 a piece right now to be making up. And you know, I'm going over to Kinko's today to pick up after the meeting to pick up another batch of 30 of these things, just so that I have enough for.
Out of curiosity,
Keep around.
have you tried Cafe Press?
My problem is that right now at this point, I can't get them and have the order filled in time for the hatchback.
Oh, this is true.
Here's 5.
Thank you.
Here's 5.
Thank you.
Start auctioning them, maybe you want.
Do I hear 6? Do I hear 6? It's all going for a good cause.
Anyone else like one? Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Steve.
Most of you know Gersh, and I want you all to keep him in your thoughts. Just keep him in your thoughts this month. So we're
What
with
date
you.
is that?
We're with you, Gersh.
April 29th.
Man,
That's a good day.
that's a
Good
day.
things happen on April 29th.
That's good.
We'll accept that.
I've got,
Oh, maybe it's your anniversary?
Well, it's my anniversary at work, it's my wedding anniversary, and it's also, we got our pit bull that we have now on April 29th.
Well, that's a good day then.
All good things have happened on April 29th.
Yeah.
It's a laptop.
Okay, anybody else?
It's a laptop.
Thanks, Gersh.
thank you, Steve.
Who's got a hand up? I know somebody had a hand up. Paul? Is that
Paul
okay?
always has something.
You know, blind hippie.
Well, hippie underneath the clothes. Today I had to come formal for normal.
I like Fort
A couple of years ago, I started working with a couple of local activists and a guy from the west side of the state for the Liberation Day event in downtown. This year, running it myself, built the website early last year to help increase the publicity and to get people talking to each other. Anybody who's not on my mailing list, please visit the site. If you can, feel free to download the flyer either in full or quarter page and print it out and hand it out to your friends, please. Most everybody, I'm sure, knows what the Liberation Day is. You have one in Upper Michigan, and I do the one down in Detroit with the help of Christine and Hilo and Dr. Funkenstein. And if you have any suggestions or anything that you can sell for a donation, or you have a tent, or you want to speak, anybody who's been through anything recently and they want to speak, more than welcome to contact me from the DetroitLiberation.org website, and I'll try to pencil you in. That's all.
Where on the west side of the state is it going to be?
What's that?
Where on the west side of the state is it going to be?
Oh, no, this one is downtown Detroit.
Okay.
We have one up in Traverse City also.
And that's why I was just going to ask you, Melody, since we're on
What are
the
the
subject
2
of
dates?
global marijuana marches, would you like to tell the public about ours up in Traverse?
What are the 2 dates for Liberation? And
First Saturday of May.
yeah, that's we're down here. What about up there? It's
First
the
Saturday
same.
of May.
Okay, it's,
It happens
that's why it's
all over the
global
world,
around.
first
That's
Saturday of
right.
May.
I don't know if there's going to be one in Jackson or Lansing this year. I think Lansing is actually going to come down to Detroit. I don't know,
That's great.
but Anybody who knows about other events that are going on, please let me know and I'll send it out to I got a few thousand people on my list. I'll send it out to them.
Do you have a specific area that you're gonna be at that
I am
after?
Circus Park, as usual.
And then people are allowed to have tables or anything to sell their wares
Yeah.
or
Donate their wares.
donate their
Yes,
wares?
to
Yes.
acquire donations only. You can put
Correct.
it, you can put
Know where it is, that's across
time?
from America Park.
right by Comerica Park. My cell phone is on the website, and my cell phone is also on the flyers, and I can be called during the event. One of my peace officers will direct people in.
What time?
Yes, Paul, what time is it? You want everybody
It
there?
starts at high noon and goes until about 6 p.m. We have a wonderful band called James and the Rainbows who are playing, and the march is at 4:20. And probably Hilo will be running the march, right?
All right.
All right. And a drum circle, bring your drums, sign contest, bring food if you want. A couple of the local restaurants are sponsoring with a small donation to help me do printing.
Great. Thank you.
Okay, Mel, do you want to say a little bit about ours?
Well, we don't have anything too terribly elaborate planned this year, but we're going to be meeting at high noon on the corner of Grandview Parkway and Union. What we usually do is demonstrate there for an hour or so, or just depends on how the spirit moves us and how the group assembles. At some point, we march through downtown and back around to the parkway and usually demonstrate some more. Generally have an after gathering that gets organized either at the event or shortly before.
Right.
Do you have anything?
Just that,
Formal planned at this point?
I'm hoping for as good a weather for our global marijuana march, not only for our Detroit brothers and sisters, but for Melody and mine up in Traverse City. And if we have good weather, what we usually do is we meet in the park and I grill up some dogs and burgers and what have you. So just keep that in mind. You got two choices: come north, go south, whichever you're closest to.
Drive past the boat.
Okay,
Marvin.
Marvin, folks. Hi.
Oh.
The party. Vote for Marvin.
An announcement is, some of you who are in Detroit area know Dr. Bob Pizzamenti. He has a chiropractic center and a vegetarian cafe. It's on Woodward, just south of 7 Mile. Anyways, the point is he's having a 420 event.
Oh, good.
Dr. Bob, it's in Detroit. It's on Woodward, just south of 7 Mile, right across the street from Palmer Park.
Where you turned in your ballot.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Where the
Innate Healing Center.
yeah, right. So on Friday night, there's going to be a jazz band. Ralph Koziarski's playing. Then Saturday is a big drum circle, and then also Sunday there's events. He's inviting people to camp over to spend the weekend at the. And there's going to be a fire, a big bonfire. There's plenty of room for. You can sleep in the clinic, in the house. He owns that big house next door, the big 10-bedroom house next door, and so there'll be bands, music. You know,
We won't be sleeping.
What day is 420 on?
420 is on a Sunday, so this starts Friday night.
Our highway cleanup is the 19th of April.
Okay.
So it's Friday night, all day Saturday, and all day Sunday. So just he wanted me to I've got a few flyers, but I thought I would.
I want to play.
Yeah, sure. So that's a 420 event in Detroit.
Are you still running?
I'm running, but not as a Democrat. I'm running as the Libertarian candidate for Congress.
Still, you need your petition?
I don't need the petitions anymore. I was originally thought I was running as a Democrat. It's a big responsibility, and I don't have $1 million, and I don't want to go at. Sandra Levin is the incumbent. I just don't want to take on Sandra Levin. And really, I'm more of a Libertarian than I am as a Democrat. In 2000, I ran as a Libertarian candidate for the University of Michigan Board of Regents. So, and this now Bill Opalaki. That sounds like an Irish name, but he's really a Polish guy. He's running as the Green candidate for the same position. So the two of us are going to team up. I'm going to be the Libertarian candidate for the 12th Congressional District. He's going to be the Green candidate for the 12th Congressional District, and we're going to be kind of campaigning
May the
together.
best man win.
Yeah, good luck.
May the highest man win, that'll be me. So I just, and that way, the primary is in August, but by running as a libertarian, I'll be able to keep the campaign going all the way through the November election. And the major issue is personal freedom. So that's
Thank you, Mark.
strong.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All good things have happened on April 29th.
Okay, anybody else?
It's a lapdog.
Thanks, Gersh.
Thank you, Steve.
Who's got a hand up? I know somebody had a hand up. Paul? Is that
Paul
okay?
has
Blind hippie.
Well, hippie underneath the clothes. Today I have to come formal for normal.
I like Martin.
A couple of years ago, I started working with a couple of local activists and a guy from the west side of the state for the Liberation Day event in downtown. This year, running it myself, built the website early last year to help increase the publicity and to get people talking to each other. Anybody who's not on my mailing list, please visit the site. If you can, feel free to download the flyer either in full or quarter page and print it out and hand it out to your friends, please. Most everybody, I'm sure, knows what the Liberation Day is. You have one in Upper Michigan, and I do the one down in Detroit with the help of Christine and Hilo and Dr. Funkenstein. And if you have any suggestions or anything that you can sell for a donation, or you have a tent, or you want to speak, anybody who's been through anything recently and they want to speak, more than welcome to contact me from the DetroitLiberation.org website, and I'll try to pencil you in. That's all.
Where on the west side of the state is it going to be?
What's that?
Where on the west side of the state is it going to be?
Oh, no, this one is downtown Detroit.
Okay.
We have one up in Traverse City also.
And that's why I was just going to ask you, Melody, since we're on
What are
the
the
subject
2
of
dates?
global marijuana marches, would you like to tell the public about ours up in Traverse?
What are the 2 dates for the liberation? And
First Saturday of May.
yeah, that's for down here. What about up there? It's
First
the
Saturday
same.
of May.
Okay,
It happens
that's why it's
all
going
over the
all
world,
around.
first
That's
Saturday of May.
I don't know if there's going to be one in Jackson or Lansing this year. I think Lansing is actually going to come down to Detroit. I don't know,
That's great.
but anybody who knows about other events that are going on, please let me know and I'll send it out to I got a few thousand people on my list. I'll send it out to them.
Do you have a specific area that you're going to be at that
I am
afterward?
Circus Park, as usual.
And then people are allowed to have tables or anything to sell their wares
Yes.
or
Donate their wares.
donate their
Yes,
wares?
to
Yes.
acquire donations only. You can put
Correct.
it, put it
know where it is, that's across from America Park.
right by Comerica Park. My cell phone is on the website, and my cell phone is also on the flyers, and I can be called during the event. One of my peace officers will direct people in.
What time?
Yes, Paul, what time is it? You want everybody there?
It starts at high noon and goes until about 6 p.m. We have a wonderful band called James and the Rainbows who are playing, and the march is at 4:20. And probably Hilo will be running the march, right?
All right.
All right. Add a drum circle, bring your drums, sign contest, bring food if you want. A couple of the local restaurants are sponsoring with a small donation to help me do printing.
Great. Thank you.
Okay, Mel, do you want to say a little bit about ours?
Well, we don't have anything too terribly elaborate planned this year, but we're going to be meeting at high noon on the corner of Grandview Parkway and Union. What we usually do is demonstrate there for an hour or so, or just depends on how the spirit moves us and how the group assembles. At some point, we march through downtown and back around to the parkway and usually demonstrate some more. Generally have an after gathering that gets organized either at the event or shortly before.
Right.
Do you have anything?
Just that,
Formal plans at this point?
I'm hoping for as good a weather for our global marijuana march, not only for our Detroit brothers and sisters, but for Melody and mine up in Traverse City. And if we have good weather, what we usually do is we meet in the park and I grill up some dogs and burgers and what have you. So just keep that in mind. You got two choices: come north, go south, whichever you're closest to.
Drive past the boat.
Okay,
Marvin.
Marvin, folks.
Oh.
The party. Vote for Marvin.
An announcement is, some of you who are in Detroit area know Dr. Bob Pizzamenti. He has a chiropractic center and a vegetarian cafe. It's on Woodward, just south of 7 Mile. Anyways, the point is he's having a 420 event.
Oh, good.
Dr. Bob, it's in Detroit. It's on Woodward, just south of 7 Mile, right across the street from Palmer Park.
Where you turned in your ballot.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Where the
Innate Healing Center.
yeah, right. So on Friday night, there's going to be a jazz band. Ralph Koziarski's playing. Then Saturday is a big drum circle, and then also Sunday there's events. He's inviting people to camp over to spend the weekend at the. And there's going to be a fire, a big bonfire. There's plenty of room for. You can sleep in the clinic, in the house. He owns a big house next door, the big 10-bedroom house next door, and so there'll be bands, music. You know,
We won't be sleeping.
What day is 420 on?
420 is on a Sunday, so this starts Friday night.
Our highway cleanup is the 19th of April.
Okay.
So it's Friday night, all day Saturday, and all day Sunday. So just he wanted me to I've got a few flyers, but I thought I would.
I want to play.
Yeah, sure. So that's a 420 event in Detroit.
Are you still running?
I'm running, but not as a Democrat. I'm running as the Libertarian candidate for Congress.
Still, you need your petition?
I don't need the petitions anymore. I was originally thought I was running as a Democrat. It's a big responsibility, and I don't have $1 million, and I don't want to go at. Sandra Levin is the incumbent. I just don't want to take on Sandra Levin. And really, I'm more of a Libertarian than I am as a Democrat. In 2000, I ran as a Libertarian candidate for the University of Michigan Board of Regents. So, and this now Bill Opalaki. That sounds like an Irish name, but he's really a Polish guy. He's running as the Green candidate for the same position. So the two of us are going to team up. I'm going to be the Libertarian candidate for the 12th Congressional District. He's going to be the Green candidate for the 12th Congressional District, and we're going to be kind of campaigning
May the
together.
best man win.
Yeah, good luck.
May the highest man win. That'll be me. So I just, and that way, the primary is in August, but by running as a Libertarian, I'll be able to keep the campaign going all the way through the November election. And the major issue is personal freedom. So that's
Thank you, Mark.
that's
Thank
Sorry.
you.
Thank you.
Any other?
Just one thing quick is that Marvin is a teacher at Wayne County Community College. He lets me speak to his class, kids, 18 years old basically, about
18 to 80.
18 to 80? Oh, most of it. Yeah, I didn't see any 80-year-olds there last time. But he lets me speak to his class, and so that's really cool. He allows someone to come in and take over the class for one day about marijuana and hemp history, and trying to get them active and get them to the local events and stuff like that. So I think he deserves a round of applause just for that. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else? I see Chris.
I don't really have too much to say, I guess. Just wanted to let you guys know more about my organization at the University of Michigan. Students for Sensible Drug Policy has been very active this year, and I would definitely consider us to be one of the most active student groups on campus. We hosted speeches by presidential candidates, Democratic presidential candidates, Dennis Kucinich and Mike Gravel. We also brought Ethan Nadelman, who is the head of Drug Policy Alliance, the leading drug policy reform organization in the United States. And so I brought this, not just to brag, but this was printed in Michigan Daily. It's Best of the Leaders. I'm one of the students of the year.
Yay!
What was that?
There's hope for the future.
Yeah, well, they put this article in here, and it was a good article. It was very positive. You know, gave a very good image of drug policy reform. And if you guys would like to help us in our efforts, contribute or anything, we will have a table at the Monroe Street Fair tomorrow. We'll be selling T-shirts and bracelets. Just make a donation.
How many members do you have on campus?
We have 15 dues-paying members, and we hold weekly meetings. They usually all show up, and we have an emailing list with over 500 people now.
Oh, great.
Great.
How's the turnout and the response for the Ethan Nadelman?
That's what I want.
Packed up for him.
Yay!
All right.
Isn't he a wonderful speaker?
Oh, it was
Yes,
great.
yes.
The video, I'm editing the video right now. It should be online on YouTube probably within a week or two.
All right.
I'll put it out on the talk list.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Tell you what, I love Chris Childs' organization, and it does a lot of good. And for us to be able to work together, that's what really counts. And I know I made a statement that 60-year-old stoner tie-dyed hippies like myself, I've been coming off and on for 37 years. It's become a big family reunion, and I love it because it bridges all gaps. You always know there's a good singing group when you see the grandparents, the moms and dads, and the kids all there enjoying the concert. Well, that's why I like to think about Michigan Normal, and what I really like to think about Hash Bash is it's become like a big family gathering of the grandparents, the parents, and the kids. So we're going to have fun tomorrow. I see a hand up.
Yeah, I'd like to encourage everybody when you go home to write a letter to your editor, telling them how enlightened and encouraged you were being here tonight, so that letter might encourage another person to send a letter to an editor, so that more awareness can just be generated through us. If each of us can get another 5 people to write letters, and those 5 people to write letters, we'll just totally wipe out every negative letter that is ever in an editorial page.
Can we ask you to give your name so in case somebody doesn't know you? Can we ask you to give your name?
I'm Mike Murray, Buzz Daily.
Buzz Daily.
I gotta add this. It does my heart good to see Buzz and Carrie and Hilo Bob, and it brings back memories of the good times we used to have on Rainbow Farms. I can't help it. It does, and I'm just so glad, Buzz, Carrie. I'm so glad to see you guys here. Thank you.
Glad to be here.
Thank you. Rich, Rich Burkett. Yes.
I just
Haven't
wanted
seen you in
to
a long
add-
time, buddy.
And everything's all said that I can think of, except that right here in this hotel is Pittsfield Township, and the Pittsfield Township Police are extremely aggressive in trying to catch drug people, and they use dogs. I urge you to have your seatbelt on, make sure your lights are working, use your turn signals. when
Who's
you
drug
come
people?
from this hotel. I highly recommend it.
Are there drug people here? I don't know what drug
You're just talking about the local Pittsfield police in general. I've been living here for about 35 years. The Pittsfield police will pull you over doing 5 miles an hour over speed limit. It's happened to me a few times.
Don't break the law, you'll be all right.
Yeah, just be cool, leaving here, and everything's cool.
How many have rooms here to cover it in? Quite a few have.
Wow.
Okay, I am going to share a tidbit of information that was given to me. Comfort Inn has given us, we've had a wonderful working relationship here with Comfort Inn, and I do realize, Rich, it is in not the greatest of areas, but we've had a wonderful working relationship, especially with the sales director. He's the one that gives us the conference room at a discounted rate, gives us our rooms at discounted rates. However, we are growing, and we've rented out, I think it's 15 rooms we had rented out, and probably more than that now, as Michigan Normal people. This caught the awareness of the owners of the hotel, and they're curious, I'm sure, and they want to see if we're going to be well behaved. And he wanted me to be aware of that because because of such a large turnout of Michigan Normal members, and because of Hash Bash, that they are going to have security in the hallways tonight. But you know, we're going to be on our best behavior. And if we didn't think that we were being looked at with a microscope this year because of what we're doing here in the state of Michigan, you got to only be fooling yourself. So let's put forth our very best foot and show that we are people that are respectable and can be trusted. And as he told me, you know, he says once they see we're a group of good people, which he vouched for us, well-behaved people, then we're never going to see the owners again, you know, here, because they're going to be content with the fact that we've taken good care of their motel.
And they want the
I
money.
agree 100%.
And they want the money,
And they
yes.
want the money.
We do, you know what, pot smokers
But you also
do bring
have to
money
understand
into a community.
What happens tomorrow, okay, we have the potential of being a national spotlight. This has been an ongoing event for 30, 40 years now. The first time I went to this event was over 30 years ago. I was 15 years old.
37 years tomorrow.
I was 15 years old in 1975, and back at Camaro was the first time I went to this event. That's when there was 10,000 people. It was the first April every month until we decided, you know, that it was going to be the first Saturday of April. This has national implications. How all of us handle ourselves is going to be known. I think it's important that you know, we you know, just be good people like we naturally are, and continue onwards. You know, like I said earlier, I mean, if you don't want to worry about the police in the hallways, my parents have owned 11 acres on the street for the last 38 years. There's a gated bar in there. I met Rich with Aaron Marker back in 75 or 76, and him and Tom Mears manned the normal booth, and I was manned the Fun for Animals booth, and I also remember the NRA too, which is kind of contradictory. But I mean, this has been going on for years and years. I'm kind of surprised that there's only 1,000 people in the state of Michigan that's part of normal right now. But I know for a fact 25 years ago there was 10,000 people nationwide. I mean, what the hell's going on here? Why haven't we increased in population over last year, you know, 20, 30 years? When you have 73% of the people in Ann Arbor voted legalized marijuana for medicinal purposes, same with Traverse City, okay, Wayne County, it's ridiculous that there's still such a small amount of people that are involved with this organization.
It is.
I mean, I've got a 12, 7, 5-year-old daughter right now. I mean, she saw a joint on my desk, and I had to explain to my 12-year-old and that this, in my opinion, is much better for you than alcohol is. Okay, it's bullshit. I mean, this has been going on for much, much too long. You know, in my opinion, there should be a group of people, a think tank, on how we can move this forward instead of having this yearly event that's, you know, talked about in high times once a year. Big deal. I mean, it's about time that we went from $5 law, from the state mandatory of $25, $50 for 50 ounce or under, to the point where it's legalized. I mean, it's, you know, there's 11 states, from what I remember, west of Mississippi, have legalized it. Okay, Michigan has tried to, through a couple of cities here.
Well, Jay, all you have to do is talk to somebody that's been arrested, and
I've been arrested.
And you
I
kind of
spent
find
once at Parnell and Jackson.
so the fear factor is major, especially if you.
Oh yeah, I mean, I got helicopters zooming my property, my 11 acres, from 1st September until like middle of October.
Right.
I know what it's all about.
Yeah, so
I know what it's all about,
that's
but
what
nothing's changed.
A lot of people
I'm
are afraid
glad
of
to see
that.
there's so many people here that came to this meeting. I haven't been to a meeting in 20 years, so maybe this is normal as far as I know. But last meeting went to was with Rich and Tom, back at Dominic's way back when.
When we took over Michigan Normal from Susan West in 2003, there was 12 members of Normal in Michigan.
It dropped off. It dropped
way off.
When the 1st of April was on a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. And that's the whole reason why this whole thing got moved to the first Saturday.
Oh, you're talking about the
April.
hash bash. I thought you were talking about the normal membership.
Well, I'm talking about everything.
Okay.
I've been here for my whole life.
Well,
it's just,
we've grown from 12 members 5 years ago, to what was the number, 160?
151.
151.
We had 400.
And
more than 400.
And it's not just 151 people, it's 151 activists. These people do not just sit on their butt, they go out there and get work done. That's how we've gotten 5 cities
Most people don't
passed
get
it.
involved with this.
Pardon me?
Most people do not want to get involved.
You're
Just
right.
have their-
You're
I
right.
didn't even get my own best friends to.
Yeah.
Anybody who's been to jail should think about, they want their kids to go to jail.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what we want to change.
Yes.
Proud to say.
Takes a big chunk out of that family budget when you have to defend
Oh, man,
yourself
this is
over
everything.
something like this.
Well, all I'm saying
Hurts
is,
your family. big
all I'm
time.
saying is, keep a watchful eye, be cautious, be safe. We don't want anybody getting in trouble this year.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to put paranoia in everybody, but, you know, I just want us all to be safe, and we're creating history this year, and we want to put our best foot forward, and we want to show people that we're not somebody to be afraid of, and we're just common citizens, and we work hard, we pay our taxes, we buy our homes, we're responsible adult cannabis consumers, and so let's live that. So, and you know, we don't want to act like criminals because we are criminals, you know. All right. Anybody else? I don't want to cut anybody off, but it is going on 9:30, and I try to keep these down to about 2.5 hours, so you all don't have to set too long. And there's more time for visiting. So, Lou, actually, I don't think we need to address anything that in the membership. So I'm going to ask you if you'd just like to give an overview of the registration form and everything.
Okay, I guess I can do that. Christine got a whole bunch of these ready for us, made up in packages. And it's really pretty straightforward. There's a page of instructions that tells you basically everything you need to know. This is for Michigan residents who will be 18 by the date of the election. So they don't have to be 18 to register, they just need to be 18 at the time of the election in order to register. Let me show what the form looks like. It's pretty straightforward. Some basic contact information. Name, address, city, state, zip, that sort of thing. One little thing, a little bit tricky. Down at the bottom, the person needs to sign twice. There's 2 signature blanks right next to each other, and apparently to make somebody happy, they need to sign both of them.
One for your voter registration card and one for the clerk.
Okay. Anyway, once you've gotten someone to fill these out, you've got a number of options on how you go about turning them in. And if this is early in the season, really doesn't matter how you turn them in. Late in the season, it makes a difference because the amount of time it takes to process the registration depends upon how it was submitted. Let me start with the most desirable, work my way down to the least desirable. If you're willing to go to the trouble, the best thing to do once you've got a completed voter registration form is to send it to the clerk of the city that the person is registered in. Because that's where it needs to go anyway, and if you send it somewhere else, you're just delaying it. If you don't happen to know information for the city clerk, then next best thing, send it to that county clerk. Then they in turn have to send it to the city. Your third option is you can turn these in at Secretary of State's offices. But again, that's like turning them in at the county, then the Secretary of State has to send it to the appropriate city. So early in the game, any of those works, city clerk, county clerk, or Secretary of State's office. The closer we get to the election, the more important it is to do what's quick, which is to send it directly to the city clerk, because that's where it needs to wind up anyway to get verified. And that's about it, really. It's important to get as many people registered as possible, especially people that are friendly to our cause.
Does that show a website where they can get the information?
Somewhere online I bumped into that form.
You know what we
Michigan government
probably,
elections.
you know what we probably ought to do? This
I've
comes
got
as a
like
PDF file.
150 of the, I have 150 of the directions with the secretary, with the different clerks.
Oh, you
So
have-
there's a pile back there,
Oh, okay.
and plus I'll have more for tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say, we have 4,000?
We have 4,000 voter registration forms, and we have,
Nice
I have
goal.
over 150 of the instruction forms.
Nice goal, let's register 4,000 new voters.
Can I
But
say
we can't do it without the help of all of you. Yes.
I noticed from petitioning that a lot of people thought they were registered, but they weren't. Because I was getting about a 72, 73 good signatures. So if you ask a person, do you have a voter's card? And if they say, I don't know, or they can't find it, they probably aren't registered. And they don't even know it. So get them to register again. And sometimes you can hand deliver these to a Secretary of State, but when I did it before, I actually paid for the stamp and sent it directly. I took it upon myself and I put a stamp on it, made sure everything was correct, and I sent it off myself. I didn't just hand it to the person, because a lot of times they just take it home and forget about it. So I did do that, and I started getting a better return, but I was very surprised at how many people, I think, really thought they were registered just because they moved somewhere.
And a lot of times people might be registered, but they're not really sure where.
Yeah.
So if they're kind of waffling, well, I think I'm
Do it
registered. I'm
again.
pretty sure I registered before.
Doesn't hurt. Yeah, register
Have them register where they are.
Doesn't have another card.
Doesn't have anything to do with jury.
Charlie had his hand up first, I think. Back there, we got several hands. Charlie, I think you were first.
Oh, well, I just want to question this, I know that, if you, vote at every election, your voter registration stays current. But does anybody know what the rules are? If you don't vote, for a certain amount of time, does it expire, or how long? How does that work?
Only when you move.
Until you move. So,
Adrian had her hand up next, I think.
I have heard instances where there's been purchases of illegal.
If somebody's registered to vote and they don't know, and they register again, does that harm them in any way?
No.
No.
There's a website
Tom?
you can get on to check to see if you're registered or not.
Oh, yeah?
And there's also, you can download the forms to fill out the registration. I saw it in my county paper last week, I could get it.
Probably do a Google search and find it.
Maybe you could put that on the talk list, Tom, where we could check and see, that.
If you go to mi.gov/vote, I think you can find out there if you're registered to vote or not.
I was going to say,
Okay, what is it?
SOS.mi.gov.
mi.gov?
Yeah.
/vote. Rochelle?
There's also a website online where people can check to see if they're registered to vote or not. It's on the Secretary of State website. You got to do a little bit of digging, but it is on there.
Yeah, he just said what it was.
mi.gov/vote.
SOS.mi.gov. Secretary of State.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I think this is a year of change, and I think that this is really important, and I couldn't overemphasize the fact that even getting one other person registered would be a really, really important thing. There's a lot riding on this election, not just pot, but pot in Michigan, it's a huge change. The medical, the amount of THC, the quality of pot in Michigan, you wait and see. Once this is passed, I mean, it'll be a huge change in Michigan. We'll be on par. We'll be on the road.
Grow your own.
Good seeds, and this is going to be huge.
Michigan was the first state to get rid of alcohol prohibition.
Really?
We're the only state with as many bars as we have churches.
Well,
May have even more bars, yes.
I want to say to each and every one of you and emphasize, I want to emphasize how important this is that, we go to a great expense to get all these brochures printed out. We go to a great expense to get all the voter registration forms printed up. I mean, that took Christine's time. You are our many hands to make the workload a little lighter, plus to get it spread throughout the state. So I encourage you, take as many brochures and as many registration forms as you feel you can possibly handle, then don't take them back into your own little neck of the woods and set them on a shelf and forget about them. Work for us and work for this cause more than anything, so that we can make history. And if we're each and every one doing our own part, we'll see it happen. We'll see it happen. So I really encourage you to take as many brochures and registration forms as possible. And Lou, did you have anything else?
Yeah, I was thinking that another way to distribute voter registration forms, they're a PDF file. It seems like we could make them available for download from our site.
Link to the one on the Michigan.
Exactly.
And link to the MINORML. Comment from the webmaster?
Greg still here?
I stand right here and I said.
Great. Okay, so I'll send you a PDF and you'll put it up?
Yes.
Good deal, thank you.
Super. And by the way, Greg, do you know, is the niche or the glitch in the board at MINORML.org, is that, it keeps bouncing back to everybody?
That account was closed. We had about a month or two ago. We had with the subscriptions. Yeah, so that was closed.
I thought it was reopened.
So did I. Okay, let's check.
But
Yeah, we can figure that out.
I created a new list, yeah.
Okay. And for the advisory committee, we can make them an email account, right? Everybody on the advisory committee?
Another list? Yeah.
Kind of like we had the leaders list?
Yes.
We'll talk about that down the road then too. Okay. Well then, I think that we are just about done. I want to give everybody one last chance. If anybody's got anything to say, now's the time. Otherwise, I'm going to close this meeting.
I got one thing to say. Bring your clipboards tomorrow to help register people. Because people can't sign on air.
Yeah, good idea.
So if you got a clipboard, bring it with you tomorrow.
Fred's back.
Oh yeah, they'll be at the table.
And I see another hand. Yes? Will.
I like to take a moment to recite a poem. It's about war. It applies to all war, and I'm sure you all know the drug war is a very real war. So, once upon a time in the land of Hushabye, round about the wondrous days of yore, they came across a sort of box bound up with chains and locked with locks, and labeled, "Kindly do not touch, it's war." A decree was issued round about, all with a flourish and a shout, and a gaily colored mascot tripping lightly on before. Don't fiddle with this deadly box, or break the chains, or pick the locks, and please, don't ever play about with war. Well, the children understood. Children happened to be good, and they were just good around the time of yore. They never tried to pick the locks or break into that deadly box. They never tried to play about with war. Mommies didn't either. Sisters, aunts, grannies neither. They were quiet, sweet, and pretty in those wondrous days of yore. Well, very much the same as now, not the ones to blame somehow for opening up that deadly box of war. But someone did. Someone battered in the lid and spilled the insides out across the floor. A sort of bouncy, bumpy ball made up of guns and flags and all the tears and horror and the death that goes with war. It bounced right out and went bashing all about and bumping into everything in store. And what was sad and most unfair is that it didn't really seem to care much who it bumped, or why, or what, or for. It bumped the children mainly. And I'll tell you this quite plainly, it bumps them every day and more and more. It leaves them dead and burned and dying, thousands of them sick and crying. Because when it bumps, it's really very sore. Now there's a way to stop the ball. It isn't difficult at all. All it takes is wisdom. And I'm absolutely sure that we can get it back into the box and bind the chains and lock the locks. But no one seems to want to save the children anymore. Well, that's the way it all appears, because it's been bouncing around for years and years, in spite of all the wisdom whizzed since those wondrous days of yore, and the time they came across that box, bound up with chains and locked with locks, and labeled, "Kindly do not touch, it's war."
Thank you, Well, I want to again thank each and every one of you. Oh, sorry.
If I could just make an announcement.
Absolutely.
Okay, for those that don't know me, I'm John Ideman, quickly, so to get the introductions. I have, as you know, there hasn't been virtually any medical research allowed by our federal government in this country, the United States of America. And I have a petition I'd like to pitch and run out to my car. It's put out by a group called Americans for Safe Access, urging the federal government to allow medical marijuana research to be permitted because there's virtually no research being done. So I'll run out to my car and get that, and hopefully you'll all sign it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Anybody else? Marvin?
Well, just one more thing. I also bring greetings from Dr. Detroit, Michael Whitty, who has been a friend of ours and an activist for many, many years. He may or may not be able to show up tomorrow, but he asked me to say hello. I'm sure many of you know Michael.
Thank you, Mark.
Oh, return the hello. Are you doing okay?
I'd like to make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, folks, just 1 minute. I know I didn't open the meeting like this, but I would just like to take just a moment and have a moment of silence for each and every one of you to remember in your own way those that have passed on before us. Some are patients, some are activists, some are patriots. They're all cannabis consumers. So if we could just bow our heads for a moment of silence and remember those people. I think of Tom and Raleigh here tonight. Now I want you all to go from in peace here tonight. Take back what you've experienced here at this meeting tonight. Take it back into your own little neck of the woods. Make it happen. Let's make history this year, and let's be on our very best behavior. And everybody stay safe out there, okay?